The next part that we have in mechanical settings window, we get to the pipe rise or drop indentation size. This part can control or even specify the symbol that we utilize to show the rise or the drop in pipes in single line mode. And by default, it is set on 3. Let's see what do we mean here. All right, so I need a pipe here. I'm going to select the pipe tools and I'm going to set the model elevation on the 0. Again, I should mention that we're going to discuss all of these items and segments later on during our course in more details. Okay, so as I said, we're going to need a pipe. First elevation was 0. The second one would be 10 meters, for example. Apply to get a symbol like this. All right. And we can actually continue. Why not? We had 10 meters here. The next elevation code would be 5, for example. 5,000 millimeters. And for next one, let's go with 1,500. If you want to check this, we should actually set the view range or the view depth on something more suitable to see all the rises and drops in our pipes, which is something like this. All right, let me check this in plan. Yeah, it's correct. We need a fitting here. All right, what else? Let's go back to plan again. We can add a section line, for example, to check everything better. There we go. Now enter the section line. Okay, we have a problem here. So we need to trim these 2 pipes. All right, what else? Seems like everything is okay. I'm gonna remove the section line. All right, as you can see, we have some symbols here. Well, actually, the first one was separate. Let me do it again. From 0 to 10 meters. Okay. Yeah, this is good. Something like this. All right, well, let me specify the height here. 10 meters. Okay. Now, if I change my view mode to coarse or medium, it would display some symbols for us, I'm sorry. And remember, we can actually control their scale here as well. But there's another way to control their size. I'm going to type down MS. Let's see how we can specify the size of these symbols that we want to use in our project. Okay, for example, I'm going to set this on 2. Oh, and by the way, the symbol itself, the symbol's form can be controlled and specified as well. We're going to see how later on in our course. Based on the pipe type that we have used here, for example, here we have hydraulic supply. So I'm going to find this type here, click on it, and then try to change the symbol to something else from here. For example, I'm going to use this one. Okay, let's see what else we can do. For example, here, single line rise. I'm going to change this as well. Apply. So this is how you can change up the symbols themselves, but their size can be controlled from the MS window. And again, by default, it is set on 3. All right. Type down MS again. We have some other items here, and they are kind of similar. For example, we have flat on top, flat on bottom, set up from top, set down from top, set up from bottom, and set down from bottom. And at the end, we have center line. Through these items, you can specify the level difference. More specifically, let's say we have a tag for the pipes with slopes, and they have some specific settings, and based on those settings, they show the level difference that we have from the endpoints, the starting and the endpoints in a current level. All right, to explain this better, let's go back here As you can see, we have a pipe here with a specific angle, or in other words, with a slope. Or we can do something else even. I'm going to go here and then set this on fine. Then I'm going to select pipe and then slope up. I'm going to continue this pipe. I'm going to draw another pipe here with a specific angle. And then another one, this time slope down. And then move the section line all the way to the top here to see everything better or completely. So we can see the slopes here. All right, now we need to load a tag to use. So from Insert tab, I'm going to click on Load Family here. Then we need to enter the library here. And from Annotation folder, after that pipe. Then in here we can select, for example, Metric Pipe Flat and Set Tag. So we can either load this one, or we can use this family for fittings. And again, this one for pipes. Let's actually load them both to set tags on both pipes and fittings. Well, because sometimes when we are, well, obviously, when we are setting pipes with slopes, we might need fittings as well. For example, something like this. All right. Now from Annotate, select Tag by Category. If I move the cursor here, it'll give me SD188. And this one, SU188. Now again, this one, SD. SD stands for slope down and SU stands for slope up. In other words, bottom and top. So if I go ahead and open up MS window again, SD would be this one, set down from top. Okay, so this was SD and then we had SU, all right? And SU would be this one, set up from bottom. Okay, now if I go back to the section again and this time activate linear tools and then try to check the dimension from center point to center point here, I would have 188. Then for this one, I would have 30. How about this one? 29. Okay, let me try to display everything better. I'm going to close down the 3D view and instead set the plan and section next to each other. So we can see the level difference, 188 in both views here. Then we have 30 here. Okay, next one, 29. All right, let's continue. Again, click on tag. I'm going to set the first tag. Let's see here. Well, obviously it'll give us all the level differences for all the segments separately. Based on the endpoints. And again, based on what you need, you can always change up these numbers. And by the way, when we see this equal symbol, it means that we don't have a slope. It's completely flat. The pipe is completely flat. For example, like what we have here. We have the same number. So again, based on what you need in your project, you can easily manage all of these parameters here. And this is quite helpful, by the way, for the projects that need, for example, shoppings, because you actually know what exactly do you need. And as a result of all of this, your end work would have the best representation.